Nightbeat starts right now.
If they're going to do it, they're going to do it the right way.
He was there back in 1970 during the Uvalde school walkout against racism, and he plans to help out for whatever is being planned to push for safer schools now in Uvalde. We take a look back at that historic walkout and how it can help call for change now.
And that's our top story tonight. School starts on Tuesday for the students of Uvalde CISD. It's the first time they'll be back in the classroom since the shooting at Robb Elementary that took 21 innocent lives.
The months that have followed have been filled with anger and heartbreak and calls for change. It's reminiscent of a time 52 years ago in Uvalde where students rose up and walked out, demanding an end to racism.
I grew up a few blocks from the school, from Robb, and I attended Robb, myself.
Before Robb Elementary was known as the site of a mass tragedy, it was the site of unrest.
We had a lot of problems with segregation, discrimination, and things of that nature. In school, with our classes, with our teachers, we didn't have a lot of Hispanic teachers.
Abelardo Lalo Castillo sat with us at Uvalde Memorial Park, just over a mile away from Robb. He's the only living non-student organizer of Uvalde's 1970 walkout.
The catalyst for the walkout was the fact that the principal at Robb Elementary did not want to renew one of the only Mexican-American teachers that we had. His name was George Garza.
Students of Uvalde CISD wouldn't stand for Garza to be fired, so they asked Castillo and other organizers for guidance and walked out. The first day, 200 students left their classes. After a while, that number grew to 650.
And they walked out of the schoolyard and up to the sidewalk. And then the other schools followed.
Their walkout lasted 6 weeks. Most students were held back as punishment. Seniors didn't get their diplomas. But Castillo says it was seen as a victory. This was a pivotal moment where students and their families stood up against racism and fought for what's right, something familiar to the Uvalde community today.
The leadership back then was garbage, and look what happened. The leadership is still garbage now. And look what happened.
Brett and Nikki Cross can't say for sure what will happen Tuesday when classes start, but they're hoping this generation looks to the past for guidance.
I hope so.
I hope so. I think we have some very powerful kids here.
Guidance Castillo is readily supplying, should it be needed.
They want that. They want the walkout. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to get them ready to have a walkout if they wish to do that.
Castillo says he's proud of the walkout they did in the 70s, but he believes the young people now can do an even better job, create more permanent and meaningful change for the current and next generation.
Kamala ISD is investigating reports of, quote, highly inappropriate and demeaning comments made on school property.
A parent's Facebook post accuses Canon High School students of yelling racial slurs at a volleyball game. The Night Team's Camila Juarez explains how the district is responding.
Hayes High School parent Jennifer Price says her daughter and several other volleyball players were targeted during Friday night's game against Canyon. Price's Facebook post is getting a lot of attention on social media. It's been shared more than 3,000 times. In it, she says, quote, our coaches told their admin and all they told the boys was watch your mouths. She goes on to say that no one was removed from the game and that the students were allowed to continue heckling the Hayes volleyball team after the game. Comal ISD's superintendent acknowledged the reported incident with an apology on Facebook. The post says the district, quote, will not tolerate this sort of behavior. Comal ISD says it's investigating and that those found to have made any racial comment at the game will be disciplined. We asked Price for an interview, but she declined. Her post also says that what happened Friday night was, quote, ironic. The Hayes volleyball team was wearing the number 3 on their hands to support Duke player Rachel Richardson, who faced racial slurs during a recent match. Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Camelia. 2 men are in the hospital following an overnight shooting at a Southside bar. The shooting happened just before midnight at Thirsties on South Presa Street near Southeast Military Drive. Witnesses called police after hearing gunfire in the parking lot. When they arrived, they found one person who had been shot twice. He was taken to BAMC. The other man was taken to Mission Trails Hospital by friends. The shooter is still on the run.
Continue our coverage on a fatal rollover crash on I-37 in Elmendorf we first told you about last night on the Nightbeat. We now have the name of the man killed in the crash. That's 59-year-old Henry Stevenson. That's according to the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office. San Antonio police say a pickup truck was switching lanes when it hit Stevenson's vehicle. That caused it to drive into the grass and flip. Stevenson was ejected from the vehicle and pronounced dead at the scene. A 5-year-old child was also ejected and taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police are looking for the pickup truck driver, who is expected to be charged.
Cibolo police are warning parents about an increase in sextortion reports targeting teens and young adults. Sextortion is a form of online blackmail that involves a victim being threatened into sending money or their explicit images will be leaked. Officials explain the victims believe they're talking with someone interested in a relationship. The victim is asked to send a revealing or nude photos of themselves. Those images are then used as blackmail in exchange for money. An FBI special agent spoke to KSAT back in May and says the victims can be as young as just 10 years old. Cibolo officials tell us sextortion is most common on apps like Instagram and Snapchat, also on kids' games like Roblox and Minecraft. A man is behind bars tonight in connection with the assault of a DoorDash driver. 21-year-old Christopher Gold is facing an aggravated robbery charge. The arrest affidavit states Gold got into an argument with the victim who was leaving the restaurant and then allegedly hit him so hard he knocked him out. When the victim woke up, he was said to be being choked by Gold, causing him to black out for a second time. Police say Gold took the victim's phone and started using his Google account, which eventually helped police in tracking him down.
All right, taking a look outside with live cam right now. A nice view there of downtown San Antonio. It doesn't feel all that bad out there. Temperatures are in the 70s. Today, we were able to see a high temperature of 86 degrees. That's it around San Antonio. It was 86 for the high temperature, much cooler than seasonably average. Take a look at highs around the KSAT 12 viewing area. 85 in Hondo, 82 in Uvalde, 85 in Kerrville, 88 in New Braunfels. Want to show you something interesting. Take a look at the radar right now. We're actually starting to see some surprise showers pop up across parts of the hill country right along an outflow boundary. So near Smithson Valley, Bernie, and even into parts of Guadalupe County. Now these showers are going to be few and far between for the evening hours. For tomorrow, in the early morning for your Labor Day, here's your grilling forecast. According to that first hot dog, some patchy fog in the early morning hours. If you're planning on grilling early, getting that brisket started early in the morning. 73 degrees, 93 for the high temperature. It's going to be a mostly sunny day, but in the afternoon, you'll want to keep the KSAT Weather Authority app handy. You might have to dodge a couple of downpours. Details on that and a more in-depth look at the radar coming up in a few minutes.
We're seeing the aftermath from not just one, but two wildfires raging through Northern California. Hear from witnesses who had to evacuate to keep safe. Plus, you might not have noticed the exact changes, but you're definitely feeling the impact. We're talking inflation, how the source of all of our problems today date back to the stimulus checks from 2020.
And a manhunt is underway in Canada in connection to a mass stabbing where at least 10 people died. What we know about the stabbing spree that left 13 different crime scenes. At least 10 people are dead following a mass stabbing in Canada. Officials there also report at least 15 others are injured. Police have identified two suspects as Damian Sanderson and Miles Sanderson. Investigators believe the two men made both targeted and random stabbing attacks in 13 different areas of Saskatchewan today. The suspects left the scene in a black Nissan Rogue and were last seen around noon. Officials add there could be more victims who may have taken themselves to the hospital after being attacked.
Former President Donald Trump is hinting he may be considering another run for the White House. He made the remark as he addressed a crowd of supporters in Pennsylvania, and it comes after a speech by President Joe Biden in which he had harsh words for the so-called MAGA Republican agenda, calling it a threat to our democracy. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimber with the details.
In front of a crowd of supporters, former President Donald Trump at his first rally since the FBI search of his Mar-a-Lago home, hinting he might be considering a 2024 presidential run.
So I may just have to do it again. You'll be staying tuned.
But first, we have to win
A historic victory for the Republican Party this November.
The former president speaking for about 2 hours at an event for Republican candidates in Pennsylvania. That rally comes just days after a speech by President Joe Biden in Philadelphia, where he went after the former president by name.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
The president is hoping to recast the November midterms as a choice between those who want to save the, quote, soul of the nation or those who he says are a danger to democracy.
Democrats, independents, mainstream Republicans, we must be stronger, more determined, and more committed to saving American democracy than MAGA Republicans are to destroying American democracy.
Republicans were quick to criticize the president's speech, calling it divisive.
It basically condemned all Republicans who supported Donald Trump in the last election. That's over 70 million people. And, saying that Republicans are a threat to democracy is really a slap in the face.
But the administration is standing by the president's words.
This MAGA Republican agenda that we saw incite violence on our nation's capital has no place in a democracy. And if we are not intentional about calling it out, which is what the president did, everything that our country is built upon is in danger.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Did your house get rained on yesterday? If so, we want to see it. Many of our KSAT viewers already sent us their rain videos and pictures, but we could always use more. And if you want to see how your neighborhood compared to others, just check out this article on our website, ksat.com.
We have few lucky people tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, I went ahead and I posted an article about your Labor Day forecast too there, and I've got a look at the radar estimated rainfall totals there. There were those in San Antonio who got 2 inches of rain, and unfortunately there were those last night that missed out on the rainfall. Now, I wanted you to take a look up to the north toward Austin and up near parts of the hill country just north of Gillespie County. You can see some showers and storms up there. Earlier, there were some storms near Austin. They produced an outflow boundary. And as I zoom in here, you can actually see that outflow boundary is just starting to push into Bexar County right now as we speak. It's that thin green line that you see there. It fired off a couple of isolated showers out near Canyon Lake, Smithson Valley, and near Bernie. But since then, those showers have really started to dissipate. So over the next hour or so, I cannot rule out some very isolated rain showers around San Antonio, but the odds are you're not going to be seeing much. But just if you hear some rain outside, that's why. You can see near Smithson Valley, that's where we've got that shower right now. And then up along I-10, just north of Bernie, some heavy rain falling as we speak. Right near Busby Road there in parts of Kendall County and along Main Street north of Bernie itself. So again, there's that outflow boundary. It's pushing to the south at about 20 miles per hour. So I'll go ahead and track that outflow boundary for you. Again, pushing to the south at about 20 miles per hour. So the gust of wind will get to areas like Madison High School shortly after 11, the Rim shortly after 11 as well. The odds of you getting rain, though, is not that great, only about 10 to 20% from this outflow boundary. But that's a look at what's happening out there right now. Here's a look at the satellite radar across the nation and across the state of Texas. You can see that there's plenty of rainfall for areas like Corpus Christi, Laredo, the Metroplex through central Texas. We've got a low pressure system that's off to our east that's going to be continuing to move off to the east. So we're going to see a fairly quiet weather pattern for the foreseeable future here, the next 7 days. But tomorrow for Labor Day, we'll start off in the 70s and top off in the 90s. Right now outside it's 78 degrees, 75 in Hondo, 75 in Pleasanton, 77 in Gonzales, and 76 in New Braunfels. Not too bad out there. Here's a look at your high-res futurecast for your Labor Day. We're going to start off early in the morning with some patchy fog out there. It's mainly going to be a quiet day for Labor Day. Do not cancel your outdoor plans. There's only a very small chance for rain in the afternoon and in the late afternoon at that. This is a snapshot at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Should be mostly sunny tomorrow during the day. It's only after 4 p.m. that we introduce a 20 to 30% chance for an isolated downpour. So if you have outdoor plans after 3 p.m., just have that KSAT Weather Authority app handy. If you have happen, hear some thunder, see some lightning, duck inside, wait for the storm to pass, and you should be just fine. So again, your KSAT 12-hour forecast, patchy fog in the morning, temperatures in the 70s. It'll become mostly sunny pretty quickly. Around noon, lunch, it'll be 86 degrees, and in the afternoon, topping off at 93 for the high. So it is going to be a hot day, and it's after 3-4 p.m. that we introduce that 30% chance for an isolated downpour. In your neighborhood in Hondo, it'll be 92, 93 in Gonzales, 91 in Pleasanton, 93 Canyon Lake, 89 in Uvalde, 90 in Del Rio, 94 in New Braunfels, 93 in Seguin, 92 in Hondo, 93 in Gonzales. It is going to be pretty humid during the day tomorrow. Very humid in the morning, a little bit less humid in the afternoon, but still noticeable. So that 93 is going to feel more like 95 to 97. And then as we look at the week ahead, it's going to be pretty hot. Temperatures should be in the mid 90s. Very little chance for rain from the day to day. Now coming up, I'll have a look at the tropics for you. And of course, another look at the radar where those showers will be. So stick around through the next half hour.
Slim rain chances, but we'll take it. Thanks for that, Sarah.
Well, if you have a day off tomorrow and feel like doing some retail therapy, better listen up. We'll show you some of the items on sale for the month of September. With Labor Day sales and the change of the season, September can be prime time to score some deals. But for things like toys, you may want to wait several weeks. For appliances and smartphones, 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz says this month is the time to buy.
September, time to bring on the pumpkin spice and the end of summer sales.
Thanks to Labor Day sales, the first half of the month, you're going to see some great discounts on large appliances like dishwashers, washers and dryers, and refrigerators.
If you need a budget fridge, this Whirlpool top freezer refrigerator is now on sale for $529 at Appliances Connection and Best Buy, nearly $80 off. Consumer Reports tracks prices on its top-rated products all year, so they know when they're on deep discount. Sure, it's almost fall, but it's still hot. So if you need a new window AC, now's a good time to buy as retailers offload summer inventory. This Frigidaire window AC is now $250 at Appliances Connection. Time for a tree trim. This chainsaw's price is slashed. The Ego battery-powered chainsaw is now $366 at Amazon, $33 saved. And finally, hello savings on smartphones. Apple is expected to announce its new iPhone next week. Know what that means?
You can expect older model iPhones to start to drop in price at carriers and retailers alike.
Right now, the iPhone 13 Pro Max is $1,099 at full price, but look for discounts later in the month. The shopping gurus say September is also a great time to buy grills, patio furniture, and leaf blowers, just in time for fall. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
All right, the best game in college football's kickoff weekend was played right here in San Antonio. I was there, that's why my voice is a little raspy. With more on what's instant replay tonight, let's check in with our Greg Simmons.
Well, you got your money's worth, didn't you?
Yeah,
and then some.
Exactly.
3 overtimes.
Free football, baby.
Meantime, both the Texas Longhorns and Fighting Texas Aggies win their season openers, even though it took the Aggies a little longer than expected. Coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay.
Harris escapes again to the 30, a burst. He is gonna score!
What started out as 3.5-point underdogs, the UTSA Roadrunners gave us the best game on opening weekend of college football. A triple overtime thriller against the 24th ranked Houston Cougars in the Alamo Dome. You'll hear from the key players and head coach Jeff Traylor tonight.
We were going to have some growing pains, and we had some tonight, but I thought we came out on the other side of them and we're better for it.
All right, the Texas Longhorns manhandled Louisiana Monroe in their season opener in Austin. How did Quinn Ewers perform as the Horns' new starting quarterback? We will show you.
I tell them, you got to have aggressive intelligence. You got to play aggressively intelligent. And listen, there's going to be, you can sit there and say, don't throw interceptions all day, but we also hit as many big plays as we've hit in a long time, too.
All right, the Fighting Texas Aggies shut out Sam Houston in College Station as Haynes King returns as their starting quarterback. But what does head coach Jimbo Fisher believe that King must work on before their next game? He will tell us. All that plus our first interview with the head coach of our new XFL team, Hines Ward. And what are the chances the XFL is a success in San Antonio? Tonight, you decide. Instant Replay is live and it's after the Nightbeat. Another football franchise coming to San Antonio.
We love sports. We love football.
Bring it all.
Yes, sir. Thanks for that, Greg.
Yep.
All right. Bottled water is becoming essential in Mississippi after their water supply was impacted by heavy rainfall. How the situation is becoming more dire as the days go on.
What's worse than fighting one wildfire? How about fighting two in the same time in the same area? That's the situation in Northern California. A breakdown of the damage done so far.
From $3 to $4 for a gallon of milk. That's just one of the many things affected by inflation. But how did we get here? We have the answer next in our latest KSAT Explains episode. You've read the headlines for months. The U.S. is dealing with the highest inflation we've seen in decades. The things you routinely bought a year ago are costing nearly 10% more today.
But why? What's driving the current inflation rate? And is there any clearer sign of where the economy is headed? Our Meyer Arthur breaks it down in the latest KSAT Explains.
The short answer is inflation is rising prices.
What's dragging on forever is the way it feels.
It's not a 1 month blip in prices, but a continual increase in prices.
Cereal is 13% more expensive compared to last year. Eggs up nearly 11%. Just about everything costs more.
Basically, it's increases in prices of the things that we tend to buy most often.
So what got us here? Answering that means we have to go back here to the moments in March of 2020 we won't forget.
We are now in a state of emergency on the national, the state, and city level here in San Antonio.
Tonight, we're announcing our stay-at-home emergency declarations.
With everyone stuck at home, cash flow across the country was down. We weren't spending like we used to. So the federal government tried to stimulate the economy by sending out stimulus checks to Americans. 3 rounds of checks between March of 2020 and March of 2021. Each of those stimulus rounds also came with hundreds of dollars given per child. It helped some people cover lost wages because of the pandemic or pay for things they couldn't afford otherwise. Then came the 3rd round of stimulus money in March 2021. $1,400 checks that time.
The stimulus package that came out of $1.9 trillion that Congress passed was too big, and how it was basically paid for was by printing money. Problem was our economic output shortfall by the time they passed the $1.9 trillion was about $0.5 trillion. So we were short $0.5 trillion, but then you spend $1.9 trillion. That's too big a spending.
Think of the U.S. economy like a fish tank. The water represents money. And during the pandemic, the water or money got too low because nobody was spending. So the government added more by sending out those checks. But if you add too much water, a tank will overflow.
And if you print too much money, you get inflation.
Cash flow is only part of this equation. Something else wasn't flowing because of the pandemic either. Stuff.
A lot of it's supply chain related. The fact that the ports, in particular the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, where most of the containers come into the U.S., 40% of the goods imported by the U.S. come in through those 2 ports. And with COVID, they've had trouble keeping staffing levels up, keeping the goods flowing.
Hard time getting chips for cars, computers, etc.
So there was more money in the economy, but fewer things to spend it on. So prices on what was available went up. And then so did oil prices. Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022. That had an impact on the global oil market as countries tried to hit Russia where it hurts.
Because of U.S. sanctions, or I should say more generally NATO sanctions, that there's a desire to punish the Russians for their invasion of Ukraine. It's not clear how effective some of those sanctions are.
What is clear is the combined punch to your paycheck. The U.S. inflation rate is at 8.5% right now, according to the Consumer Price Index. That's a record kept by the government to show how prices on things you pay for are changing.
So crude oil or raw steel or commercial real estate, none of those things are in the CPI, but gasoline, bananas, your rent that you pay, all those things are.
Every month, the Consumer Price Index looks at 60 to 80,000 prices on a range of items from 75 different locations all across the country.
You know, that gives us this big pile of prices, and then we take that big pile of prices and sort of compare it to the previous pile of prices and see how much they've gone up.
Take a gallon of whole milk. The Consumer Price Index says we were paying around $3.25 for that in July 2020. For 363 in July 2021, and 415 this July. The Consumer Price Index is published monthly, but it's not just used to help you understand what's costing more. It's also a factor in business decisions.
Maybe landlords or who are using it to raise their rent, or bosses who are using it to give their employees raises, or people in the financial world who are interested in what's happening with inflation.
And Social Security recipients get a cost of living adjustment every year based on the CPI. But the current inflation rate is one the U.S. hasn't seen in 40 years. So that's the problem, and the Federal Reserve has taken steps to try to fix it by raising interest rates. This summer, the Fed has done it twice, each time raising it by 0.75%, now to a range of 2.25 to 2.5%. It's an effort to try to discourage people from borrowing and spending money.
The belief is that the economy is running too hot, that there's too much demand, and we need to sort of quell that demand, and rising interest rates will do that.
But it could take a while to see progress.
It's not like instantaneously when the Federal Reserve raises interest rates, immediately the economy slows down. It's like driving a super tanker, right? It takes time to make a turn to the left or the right. It'll happen, it'll just happen with a delay.
The bigger question may not be when, but if the U.S. economy will avoid recession.
The track record of trying to avoid recessions by the Federal Reserve when they're trying to reduce inflation is not good. The so-called soft landing, where you reduce inflation without causing a recession, is a rare event. It's often a hard landing where you get a recession. The odds are soon we will be in a recession.
But San Antonio may have something working in its favor. A local economy that's not what it used to be.
All that to say that San Antonio, its economy is much more than Military City, USA, or a tourism destination. San Antonio is much more than that now. There's aerospace, there's healthcare, medical, a whole host of financial services, a whole host of other industries that sort of buffer the economy, can buffer the economy somewhat in a recession.
And just last week, the head of the Federal Reserve said it's likely we'll see another increase in interest rates this year as the Fed keeps trying to push down inflation. And if you like that episode, KSAT Explains takes one topic every week and gives you more context and perspective. Scan this QR code to see, we'll try to get that up to you, but you can scan a QR code or go to our website, ksat.com, to find more episodes. Drinking water is hard to come by in Mississippi. How heavy rain caused this water emergency in one city, and what's being done to combat it.
The devastation is far and wide in Northern California, where firefighters are battling two fires. What's been damaged so far? Fire crews are battling the intense heat in Northern California as they work to contain two raging wildfires. The destructive Mill Fire, which has already destroyed dozens of homes, and the larger but more remote Mountain Fire. The Mill Fire in Northern California began Friday afternoon, tearing through the town of Weed near the Oregon border. Several injuries have been reported. Thousands of residents were forced to flee. At least 100 homes have been reduced to ashes. Cars melted by the intense heat. So far, more than 4,200 acres have burned. Fire officials say at least 400 structures are still threatened by the flames.
I mean, you blink your eye, fire over there, it's just everything just jumped.
This was just a big puff of black smoke. You could hear small explosions.
Weather conditions improved overnight, but not far from Weed, another blaze. The Mountain Fire has grown substantially. More than 6,400 acres have burned. The Mountain Fire is in a more remote area. About 330 people forced to evacuate. Fire officials say the cause of both fires are still under investigation.
Residents in Jackson, Mississippi are in dire need of clean drinking water. Right now, FEMA is providing temporary measures to help increase the water pressure. All of this after a chemical imbalance was found at a treatment plant because of heavy rain and flooding pushed the Pearl River to dangerous levels. The city has been under a boil water advisory since the end of July. Roughly 150,000 residents are being forced to buy water or rely on bottled water pickup sites for water to drink, to cook with, and to brush their teeth with. The city's mayor believes they'll have safe drinking water within a matter of days. We'll be right back.
So we have this theory that if you cross everything, you might be one of the lucky few who gets, I'm even crossing my legs here, you might be one of the lucky few who gets some rain tonight.
I dared her to do that. She did that during commercial break. And I was like, you won't do it on air.
I'm sorry,
wrong.
Lee.
Here.
Odds are not in your favor. I'm sorry, girlfriend.
But slim chances are still good. We'll take what we can get.
Yeah, there are some very, very isolated showers out there tonight along an outflow boundary from some storms that happened earlier up in the Dallas and the DFW Metroplex. This outflow boundary made it all the way to us in San Antonio. You can actually see the outflow boundary here in the form of this thin green line that's moving through Luling, Seguin, northern Bexar County, and through parts of Kerr County as well. This is from storms that were in Dallas, eventually in Austin, and now all that's left is this thin outflow boundary and a couple of very isolated rain showers. There was some isolated rain out near Smithson Valley along 281 toward Bulverde, and even right now we've got a light to moderate rain shower that's pushing into Pipe Creek and northeastern Bandera. There's another storm that's further north in Llano County, but as you can see, it's really falling apart as it moves south into Gillespie County, so we don't expect it to hold on all that much anymore. Your odds of seeing a shower in San Antonio overnight tonight are about 10%, so not a good chance for rain tonight, and frankly, not a good chance for rain tomorrow for Labor Day as well, but not a lot of people complaining about that because a lot of folks are going to be outside. Here's a look at the time-lapse. Beautiful day today. There was plenty of cloud cover, though, so it really didn't feel all that bad out there. It was only 86 degrees today for the high temperature. That's well below average. Average is 93 degrees, and it was 86 in San Antonio, 85 in Hondo, 83 in Cotulla, 82 in Uvalde, 85 in Del Rio. It was 88 in New Braunfels and 85 in Gonzales. But today was the coolest day of the next 7 days. Take a look at these high temperatures climbing over the next few days. Generally, we'll be in the low to mid 90s throughout this upcoming week. So I hope you enjoyed today's quote unquote cooler weather. It's going to be back to that summer-like feel for most of the extended forecast. Here's a look at your high-res futurecast for your Labor Day itself. Early tomorrow morning, I do think that there are going to be areas of fog, patchy fog. So maybe you're going to wake up early, get that brisket going. You may see some fog early in the morning hours. And then we'll see quickly clearing skies, mostly sunny throughout most of the day tomorrow. The one exception is going to be closer to Victoria, Beeville, where it should be cloudier. But all in all, tomorrow's going to be a pretty sunny day. It is, however, in the later afternoon, we're talking after 3 p.m., that there's about a 30% chance for an isolated downpour. Don't cancel your plans outdoors. Just have a backup plan to quickly duck inside and go back out if you happen to come across one of those isolated showers and storms. So just to summarize everything I said, here's your Labor Day. Patchy fog in the morning, 73 degrees, mostly sunny around lunch, 86, 93 for the high temperature. But that 93 is going to feel more like 97 because it's going to be pretty humid outside. 30% chance for an isolated downpour. Winds will be light and variable. Sun will set a little bit before 8, and it should be a humid evening for us. I promised to look at the tropics. Here you go. We've got 2 storms out there in the Atlantic right now. Hurricane Danielle, Category 1 hurricane expected to move out into the north and to the east. And then Tropical Storm Earl, which may impact Bermuda later on in the week, but we'll also be monitoring an area off of the coast of Africa here, which has about a 20% chance of development. We'll keep tabs on the tropics for you, but just know that this week generally in San Antonio is going to be pretty quiet and hot. Highs will be in the mid 90s. JP, Lee.
Thanks for that, Sarah. We'll keep everything crossed for some better rain chances here in the future. Exactly.
Labor Day weekend is typically very slow at the box office, so theaters try to lure moviegoers with ticket discounts and re-releases of popular movies, but was it enough? See the totals from this weekend's box office results.
Festivities are about to start.
After one weekend on top, The Invitation fell to 5th place with $4.7 million. Bullet Train pulled into the station in 4th place, earning $5.4 million. DC League of Super Pets moved up to 3rd on ticket sales of $5.45 million.
Your instructor is one of the finest pilots this program has ever produced.
Top Gun Maverick took aim at the top spot but had to settle for 2nd with $5.5 million. Spider-Man: No Way Home, one of the biggest movies of last year, returned to theaters and swung to the top spot, grossing $6 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Meet the head coach of our newest football franchise in the XFL, Super Bowl champion Hines Ward.
Yeah, after an historic and healing night for their community, the best of the big game coverage begins and ends tonight with Uvalde. With more of what's on instant replay, we're going to head over to our Greg Simmons.
JP, the voice is hanging in there. It's going for the stretch run. You're almost at the goal line, almost.
We're in overtime right now.
All right, and don't miss our interview with what could be the United States Soccer League's MVP this year, San Antonio's FC's Mitchell Taintor, coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay.
I want to win a championship here, so I think the fans are awesome. You can tell by them just coming out and tailgating, and they just have a thirst for football.
Sure do. Meet the head coach of San Antonio's latest football franchise in the XFL, former Super Bowl champion Hines Ward. He will visit with us tonight about his plans on making the team work at the Alamo City. And don't miss our interview with San Antonio FC's Mitchell Taintor, who's very much a part of San Antonio FC's incredible success this year.
17 seconds remaining. Can they pull off this incredible victory? And into the end zone they go, and it's good! Touchdown, Uvalde!
And it was just what the community of Uvalde needed, something to celebrate as the Coyotes came back to defeat Eagle Pass win 34-28 in their first football home game since the mass shootings at Robb Elementary School. That's how our best of big game coverage begins and ends tonight with a historic victory, and it leads into a brand new edition of 12's Top 12 and Sub 5A 12's Top 12 tonight. All that plus UTSA's triple overtime season opening thriller against Houston, and the Sports Guys tackle Cougars head coach Dana Holgerson's controversial accusation. Instant Replay is live, and it's next. Take us home.
That's a lot of good stuff coming up.
We're looking forward to it.
Stay tuned. Thanks for that, Greg.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
We know the news can be hard to hear at times, so we wanted to end your night by telling you something good.
A World War II hero is still serving, but in a very different way. At 94 years young, Carl Hall is a hero to kids at Children's Hospital in St. Louis. For the past 32 years, Carl has handed out smiles to everyone who walked through those doors. He provided toys and coloring books and other fun activities for kids. When asked how long he plans to do this, well, Carl says he doesn't know, just as long as God helps him. That is something to make you smile tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. That's all our time here. My voice made it through the show, barely.
Barely? Right there.
But stay tuned for a lot of sports action and instant replay.
Right now.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a brand new edition of Instant Replay. 1 week from today, the first full Sunday of NFL action takes place as the Dallas Cowboys host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to kick off their season on Sunday Night Football, while the Houston Texans, with the Uvalde football team in one of their suites, will host the Indianapolis Colts to begin their comeback. But first, the best game in college football this weekend occurred right here in San Antonio. Over 37,000 fans packed the Alamo to see the Conference USA Championship banner raised before the UTSA Roadrunners hosted number 24 Houston in what has now become a rivalry. The Roadrunners would take a 21-7 lead thanks to quarterback Frank Harris, who connected with 6 different receivers and included this 51-yard catch and run by Joshua Cephas, but the Cougars would come back in the fourth quarter. That's when Clayton Toon is able to find Joseph Manjack for a great juggling grab to tie the game up at 21-all. Tack on 2 field goals. We're headed to overtime, tied at 24-all. In the second OT now, UTSA is down 34-27 when Harris is able to find DeCorian Clark on a 13-yard touchdown pass. Follow that up by his plunge into the end zone for the 2-point conversion to force a third overtime, tied at 35-all. Now down 2, the Roadrunners have a chance to go for 2 and tie it up again, but Harris' pass sails out of bounds and the Cougars survive, handing the Roadrunners their first season opening loss since 2018, 37-35.
I thought we outplayed them. And that's on the head coach, right? Our kids gave an unbelievable effort. We made some critical mistakes in some critical times, and that's on me. And couldn't be more proud of them.
Coach Shutter wanted us to keep our head up. You know, he takes the blame, but I definitely take the blame myself. That last play, I forgot to send him in motion, so I definitely, it's hard on me right now. We got to just come out there, you know, tomorrow, learn from everything, good, bad, and get ready for next week.
I think we're going to respond well.
Kind of like what Frank said, we're going to have to go back tomorrow, look at the things that we need to fix and get ready for a great opponent in the Army. But I feel like we played a great game overall, and I'm proud of the way we played.
All right, the Roadrunners don't have it easy. They travel next to West Point to take on Army at 11 a.m. on Saturday. The Texas Longhorns were able to wipe out Louisiana Monroe in their season opener in Austin on Saturday, with Quinn Ewers making his debut as their new starting quarterback. They're throwing for 225 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tight end Jatavian Sanders caught 6 of those passes for 85 yards and a first quarter touchdown. The Horns relied heavily on their ground game as well, anchored by Heisman Trophy candidate Bijan Robinson at 111 yards on 13 carries, 2 touchdowns in the third quarter, one on a 16-yard reception, the other on a 9-yard run. But the biggest play of the game actually came from special teams that opened it up with a block punt by Deshaun Jameson that was scooped up by Killian Robinson, taken in from 12 yards out. Horns win big, 52-10, but was Ewers nervous for his debut?
I'm actually kind of surprised that I didn't have really any butterflies going into today. You know, maybe a little bit on the first play, but, you know, not even as much as I did in high school. It was just kind of weird, but I liked it. I enjoyed the game. It was a lot of fun.
It's awesome. You know, it's good to just, you know, play that game and, you know, come out with the win, because we know that, you know, we have a long season ahead, but always that first game, you always want to get out of there and, you know, get a win and be healthy and see where your team's at.
All right, next up for Texas, their toughest game of the season when they host Alabama, 11 a.m. at Royal Memorial Stadium. The Fighting Texas Aggies kicked off their season with a win over Sam Houston, even though it took them a little longer since there was a 3-hour lightning delay before this one could be finished. But it started off great as Haynes King, who begins the season as the Aggie starting quarterback, again gets the maroon and white into the end zone on a 66-yard touchdown to Yule Keith Brown. He's able to follow that up with a spectacular 63-yard touchdown to Aniyah Smith. He picks up a great block to break him for the end zone, and that's when lightning struck literally, and the game was stopped at 1 p.m., did not resume until almost 4 p.m. When it did, King added his third touchdown of the day with a 43-yard pass to Smith, and 6th-ranked Aggies 31-0 rout of Sam Houston.
On the first one, I seen the safety go ahead and come down. Middle of the field was wide open. Got my head around. As soon as I seen it, Haynes threw a nice ball, and then I had turned around, seeing you Keith make that spectacular block. Then on the second one, they were supposed to go ahead and call a switch. They had caught it kind of late, and so I scored.
Thought Haynes played a solid game, but he still had 2 critical mistakes in that deep ball. He's got to see it to freeze leaving out of it. He's got to be a little more vertical with the ball. That guy's not vacating it. He's got to stay more vertical with it or dump it down as a first down call. But what I liked about that, he came right back the next drive right after that and threw a touchdown.
All right, next up, the Aggies host Appalachian State at 2:30 kickoff at Kyle Field. UIW opened their season on Saturday afternoon with a dominant 64-29 victory over number 9 Southern Illinois. G.J. Kinney's debut as a Cardinals head coach. Quarterback Lindsey Scott Jr. threw 6 total touchdowns and ran for another later in the first quarter. The game was delayed twice. Kickoff had to be moved back an hour and 40 minutes due to a lightning delay. And then after that, Scott scored his rushing touchdown when the lights at Gale and Tom Benson Stadium went out. But the fans still had fun using their phones as lights. Trinity's home opener was also delayed due to lightning in the area. But when the game did kick off, the number 9 Tigers demolished Sullivan State 55-7. Quarterback Tucker Horn threw for 3 touchdowns in that victory.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
1 week from tonight, we will finally know how the Cowboys and the Texans do with their first test of the regular season. So many questions need to be answered for both teams. It all starts for Houston by hosting a division rival, with the Cowboys will get the primetime spotlight at home. Week 1 of the NFL looks like this. The Texans will host the Colts Sunday at high noon at NRG Stadium. The Cowboys wrap up the night by hosting the Buccaneers 7:20 p.m. at AT&T Stadium. We will be there. Former Super Bowl champion and now head coach of San Antonio's new XFL team, Hines Ward, made his first visit to the Alamo City over the weekend. He stopped by the Alamo Dome to watch UTSA's home opener. We had a chance to visit with Ward to discuss our newest football franchise.
I'm extremely excited about the opportunity. I think the reason I chose San Antonio, just from the great passion from the fans who crave football, and it's an amazing sports town. It just reminds me a lot of what I had up in Pittsburgh during my playing days in blue collar city. So I'm excited to have an opportunity to be the head coach, and excited to have pro football back in San Antonio. Well deserved.
All right, San Antonio isn't the only Texas city getting an XFL team. Arlington and Houston are in the mix as well. Ward can't wait for that rivalry.
I get the bragging rights. The state of Texas, I know how important football is here, and you know, I get it. Dallas and Houston, they have their own professional football team, but I just wanted to, you know, get the fans excited. And I know it's a big rivalry between all the cities, and my goal is to try to win the state title here. I want to be able to sweep Dallas and Houston all in the same year. So I'm excited. Look forward to it. It should be fun.
Time now for tonight's instant replay poll question. What are the chances the XFL is a success in San Antonio? A, great, B, fair, C, poor, D, terrible. Vote now. Have the results at the end of the broadcast tonight. Up next, it's time to go one-on-one with SAFC.
So I think right now, obviously, we went through a little slump in August, but you know, up until that point, we've been firing on all cylinders, and I think it was a blessing in disguise, maybe. You know, a little wake-up call that you know, we need to pick it up. This is the business end of the season.
San Antonio FC is having its best season in franchise history, and Mitchell Tainter is one of the reasons why. You'll hear from the MVP candidate in just a moment. The best of big game coverage begins and ends in Uvalde after their incredible come-from-behind victory against Eagle Pass win that was broadcast live on all of our streaming platforms on Friday night. We'll have a new 12's Top 12, sub-5A 12's Top 12, and the sports guys are back tonight to discuss a controversy created by the head coach of the Houston Cougars for their 3-overtime throwdown in the Alamo Dome against the UTSA Roadrunners. When instant replay continues live next.